Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be doing a sit down, get ready with me kind of chit chat. It's going to be this super easy, neutral, bronzy kind of glam. And I'm going to be doing so using all of my favorite products. So this is going to be a face full of favorites. So products that I've been using for years, others where I've tried to use something else to kind of replace it, yet always come back to these products. And I probably only have like one or two things that I've added to my routine that's a little bit more new that I wanted to share with you guys. So yeah, happy Saturday. Thank you for being here. And let's sit down and play with some makeup. All right, let's start with a face full of favorites. So I've been really playing with different foundations and concealers, setting powders, and kind of like literally doing different things on each side of the face for like a whole day to see like maybe this combination is better or whatever. And so since I am working from home now, I felt like this is the perfect time to experiment. So one thing that has completely changed is that I've started doing my eyebrows first. And I'm really liking that like fluffy eyebrow kind of style, but I like it when it looks fluffy, but not like overly plastered onto the forehead. And one thing that I tried that I think I heard from TikTok about, and that is just to use the Schwarzkopf glue for like a brow pomade. And this stuff literally is like glue. So Adam was like, why did you buy a men's gel product? And I was like, it's for my eyebrows. So basically you have enough product in here to do your eyebrows probably for 10 years. But if you buy a teeny tiny little like brow product, it's like $30. So I figured spending $9 on this, even if I don't finish it completely, is still a better idea. So because of that, we are starting with brows first. So what I feel like works for me is to kind of fill in my sparse gaps very lightly first, and then brush some of the glue onto the brows and kind of comb them upwards. So this is a super elaborate explanation for brows. I actually think this is a lot easier than what I normally did. And I think we all love the way a good sculpted brow looks, but I think we all feel like it's like the most tedious thing in makeup to do. And by the way, I'm starting with a cleansed and hydrated, moisturized face. And I'm just using the Benefit Brow Pencil. I think this is in shade number 2. So again, just kind of filling in like kind of my natural shape. And then I also kind of like to brush them upwards without product to see if there are any little gaps or sparse little spaces. I like the shape of this brow better, but I have a huge like kind of gap right there. So brushing them upwards and filling them in first kind of gives you that good base. As you guys know, a year ago I started a second channel, which is my vlog channel, and I haven't been uploading much because of the whole lockdown. I just keep thinking like, what on earth am I going to share that is like worth sharing? But every time I upload just like a week in my life or like day in my life, you guys seem to love it. So I vlogged last week and I've been vlogging this week as well. This is how I apply the product. I literally just take a little bit between my fingers and apply directly on the brow. Some people do it with a little spoolie onto the product. I feel like I get more control without using a ton of product this way. And then just kind of brush them up. I think every brow is different, or every person's brows are different. So some people like that very completely like bushy upwards combed brow. When I get to the tail, I kind of like combing it out rather than up. And then I like to brush this part up until I get kind of like a good base. And then I like to kind of come up and comb those little upward ending hairs a little bit down. Don't like it when it just completely goes up. To me, that's just so unnatural. And towards this like inner eye area where these brow hairs are kind of like shorter, I guess. I think these look good straight up, but the rest of the brow, I like it combed up but still tame, if that makes sense. I've been trying to watch a lot more like makeup videos from like pro makeup artists that are not my usual like favorite YouTubers that I always just watch because I love their personality. So I've been trying to kind of like venture out and I don't know, like get like different perspective, if that makes sense. And then I like to take a little eyebrow like angled brush and just clean up underneath, because the top is like so fluffy. I kind of like when the bottom looks pretty clean. So yeah, I feel like I haven't necessarily like learned anything so groundbreaking, but I feel like I've made kind of little tweaks here and there. And I actually feel like the tweaks lately are actually to kind of use less and to do less. And I don't know if this trend is more from like, we're just all like working from home, or if it's really like that crazy overly done makeup look is just out, because we've seen it and we're over it. Okay, happy with that. Now moving on to the face, which is my favorite part. A lot of people will do like their eye makeup first. I feel like my face, like I can't even see colors until my like complexion is like evened out. I don't know if it's just a me thing, but yeah, that's what I prefer to do. So the next thing I like to put on my skin after I have moisturized is the new JLo Beauty That Star Filter. And it's a very, very glowy, goldy kind of product. And it's funny because like my first makeup video that I ever put on YouTube, don't look for it because it's embarrassing. I called it like a bronzy, glowy, dewy makeup look. And every time I see that title in a video, I don't think I've ever thought or imagined anyone else's complexion but JLo's. Like, she is the queen of that beautiful bronzy glow. So when she came out with her brand, I was kind of like, wow, like another celebrity with a makeup brand. Hooray, you know? But I was like, when she has a glow product, I'm gonna try it. And at first when I put this on, I was like, oh, it's like so patchy. It's not like one of those like, oh, I can just step out of the house in this product. It's such a beautiful, glowy, like CC cream. It's not that. It's like full on, like glittery looking bronze kind of glow oil. Anyway, I tried it and absolutely loved it. So this is definitely one of the new additions to my routine. And so it's just like a fun little complexion booster. So then for foundation, we're going to go in with my absolute favorite. I've used this foundation probably for 3 years now. I've kind of used the Flawless in between, the Flawless foundation, or Lawless, not Flawless. And although I do like that one, I just feel like every time I go back to the Nars Sheer Glow foundation, like, this is my jam. This is my face product. I love it. I just feel like texture-wise, it's the one that like mimics my skin, my natural skin's kind of glow, the most natural. And I use it in the color Fiji, and I don't think I've ever used a foundation that I felt just naturally suits my color as well as this one. To me, this is probably like the most satisfying part about makeup, because I love just seeing like a good, beautiful base go down. So as I was talking about the vlog channel, we have started to talk to a new editor. So that's one of the reasons why I feel like we don't put up more videos, because the editing part is just so time consuming. So Adam's been telling me that I should try that. It's really hard to give up controlled like one of your businesses. Especially to me, the editing is half of the video. So to me, just like weird to give that up. For concealer, I'm using Tarte Shape Tape in a light beige. And again, something I started doing is applying a lot less. It's kind of this inner corner where I get a lot of kind of darkness, and then a little bit on the outer corner. A bit around the nose. A little bit in the center of the forehead to brighten that up. I'd rather go back in and use more if needed. But yeah, going back to the vlogs and the editing, we're going to try that out, see how you guys like it, see how I feel about it, and if that's something that works out where you guys, you know, still feel like it's my videos and I feel comfortable about it, I feel like I can put more content out. So obviously, if sometimes I feel like weird talking about this stuff until like I've actually done it and tried it, and then I'll let you guys know, because then I'm like, what if it's like a false promise? But we'll see how that goes. So now for setting powder, I'm going to show you all the setting powders that I've kind of been trying out. I know this is a little crazy and excessive, but I was like, I really want to find the perfect setting powder. So I've been using the Lawless Set the Deal. This one's really good, but then I feel like when I get towards the end, I don't know if it's just like the product gets older, and then I feel like fall less in love with it. So I tried the One Size Patrick Star one. I've been trying the Nars Translucent, and then an oldie, but always goodie, the Laura Mercier Translucent. I used to use this one forever. I absolutely loved it, and then I transitioned into the Lawless one. So the Patrick Star one, I love the color, I love the packaging, I love him, but I felt like for my under eye, this is just so like powdery. Everyone was saying it has such a blurring effect. I felt like it made my under eye not at all blurred. I actually feel like it enhanced every texture and line under my eyes. So I think for like the cheeks or the rest of the skin, it's good, but not for under eyes. And to me, like the big test is how does it look for under eyes. The Nars is pretty good. It's very like talky, like it's like a white powder. So this one's great for if you want like a very light veil, but for like baking under the eyes, again, I thought way too much. So kind of back to the basics, Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. That's what I used yesterday. Absolutely loved how it wore throughout the day. So still the Lawless Loose Setting Powder or the Laura Mercier for me. I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier, and as you can see, I got a little tiny one because I kind of wanted to, because I was trying so many out, I was like, I don't want to buy the full pack of everything until I make a decision. One thing too that I've been trying is a lot of makeup artists say to apply under eye with a brush rather than a sponge. I've been trying that for a couple of days, and to me, again, that just adds a ton of texture. I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but applying it with a damp beauty sponge, to me, just works so much better. Ta-da! So I like to set the under eyes right away before I do the rest of the face. Still want to do more cream products through the face, so we're not going to set yet. So one of my clients actually gave me this Tom Ford contouring kind of, would be a palette, but like this is like from the sample because she works for them. So that's what this is. I'm using dark A57. And so with a pretty kind of a dense brush, I go in and add a little bit of contour. One thing that's a little bit different is, so this is where my cheekbone is, so I apply it a little bit higher for like a lifting effect. And I like to apply kind of more starting in this area close to the hairline, and then kind of with what's left of the product, then bringing it out more onto the cheek. So apply a little higher. Same thing on the forehead. Also been doing a little around the jawline, as I feel right now the trend is all about this like snatched jawline. And because your girl's not about to get chin liposuction, that's what we're doing. I normally like completely ignore like for my cheeks down when it comes to doing anything that's to do with like chiseling kind of effect. All right, so my next dewy product is blush. I'm using Ciat's Dewy Blush in Papaya. I just like to apply a little bit to the backs of my hand, and then with a clean, same brush as I did the bronzer, we're going to apply that blush color. So for this, I like to still keep it pretty high, but I like bringing it a little in closer to this like apples of the cheek. I may look back in a couple of years and think, what the hell was I doing? All right, before we set that in with powder, I'm going to contour the nose, and for that, I use CoverGirl's True Match contour palette. I worked with CoverGirl years ago, and this was one of the products that came in my kit, and I'm still loving it, and I bought maybe 3 or 4 of these. So for my nose contour, I've made a dedicated video to this because I think this is such an important step to the face, and I have a little bit of a different approach to contouring. I think it really needs to be personalized for your nose shape. I do feel like I see a lot of makeup kind of videos, and sometimes people like the most slender bridges are like hardcore, like snatching their nose up even more. And I think if your nose already has a very narrow bridge, to me, like, I think it's silly to do it more just because everyone contours their nose. Because contouring started because people felt they needed to minimize that area of the face. So it's a compliment if you don't need to, but it's also okay for those of us that do need it. All right, and then a crucial part to that nose contour is actually baking around. So I like to bring that kind of in a straight line down the center and bringing it down that slope of the nose. This also helps set kind of an area of the face that gets a lot of movement that would probably otherwise you would lose a lot of coverage. So now that we've contoured the nose and we have that baking, now we can go ahead and powder the rest of the face. Placing a little bake just underneath that contour to extra sculpt out, and then with what's left on the sponge, kind of setting in those cheeks. Okay, so normally when I'm like in a rush, this is the part in my makeup where I feel like I start to kind of calm down and relax and enjoy the rest of the process because I feel like the hard work is done. All right, and now moving on into eyes, I'm going to be using Natasha Denona Star Palette. Still probably one of my favorite palettes of all time. So I'm going to use a little bit of the shade Flesh, and normally only do one color lately, and just in that crease, just to kind of establish a little more shape and shadow to the eyelid. And then with what's left of the product, then I come in and add that to the actual lid. One thing I do a little differently is that I come a lot further in here and add a little shadow there, as opposed to, I felt like years ago it was all about like focusing on this outer corner. And I actually like this outer corner now to be really soft, to where like I don't necessarily see this chiseled chunk of like brown shadow. Not that that's ever how your shadow should look, but you know what I mean. I feel like I have pretty close set eyes, and I feel like when I learned to do makeup, it was all about like add, you know, like width out here, like make your eyes look further apart. I actually like how my eyes sit. I think there's something kind of like youthful and Bambi-like about having your eyes a little bit close set. I do think too that like the older you are, the more you like embrace certain things about yourself, as opposed to like when you're younger, it's all about like, how do I hide this one feature that I have that's not really a problem, but you know. And very importantly, taking a smaller kind of like pencil brush with that same color, just kind of dusting it just around where that bottom lash line is. It just kind of ties everything together. And I think it's just really pretty to have a little bit of shadow there. Naturally, this is an area that creases a lot more. And so just having like a white powder or something that you would have for under eye area, I think is actually not that flattering. And so having a little bit of this lid color onto that line, I think is really pretty. And then I think today, just because we're trying to be a little fancy, I'm gonna add a little bit of a shimmer color in Rhea from that same palette. I'm just gonna use my fingers. And instead of using it on this kind of like center of the lid, I already feel like my eyes are pretty round that way. I actually like focusing it more on this kind of inner corner and like half circle here, so that like the shimmer is like on this half kind of portion of the eye. Then go back in with that original kind of shade color. You guys know me, when it comes to like eyeshadows and stuff, I don't like a cut crease, don't like anything too angular, edgy, or whatever. I kind of just like a natural eye shape, just slightly enhanced with a little bit of shadow, which is why I've always hated having my makeup done, because everyone wants to do like a crazy wing liner on me. Although I have been doing a little bit of eyeliner and I've been liking that. So I'm just adding in a soft brown, because I personally am not into a very stark black liner. Alright, now I'm just going to curl the lashes and add some mascara. And I'm still using the It Cosmetics Blowout Mascara. It has like a good complex ingredient that's good for the lashes. And you guys know I've been on like a healing lash journey. So, because we are working from home, I rather put on kind of a gentle mascara that's, you know, not hurting my lashes, as opposed to having these like crazy blown out, beautiful, crazy mascara lashes. All right, we're almost done. So now for lips, I'm going to be using this Sephora lip liner in number 01, the nudest. And although I do like this color, I feel like there was zero product in here. I think this is one of those shades that like matches my natural lip shade the most. I kind of just outline the edge a little bit. And then, like I mentioned, I feel like a lot of makeup looks right now are like a very browny lip. but I always like my lip to have a little bit more of like a nude to pinky shade. I'm going over it with this MAC Creme de Nude lipstick. And I feel like every makeup artist will tell you like bring the foundation down. I don't like the feeling of like a creamy product on my neck or like chest area. So what I like to do is just bronze up a little bit, but it has to be like a good kind of clean product. So that's why I love the Flawless powder. And this is just their setting powder, but in their like deeper shade. And I just like to, with the biggest, fluffiest brush I have, kind of just add that to my décolleté and neck area. I started filming, I realized my hair was tucked into my shirt, and then for continuity, I just left it. So in case you're like, why is your hair tucked into her shirt? It's because I didn't realize. Okay, and then I like to go in kind of with a like tapered kind of powdery brush and just kind of wipe off all that excess powder that we may still have from baking. And like an idiot, I always forget to set my face before I do mascara, so I'm just gonna try and cover my lashes and set the face. All right, guys. And there we have it. Super simple, easy, kind of everyday, off-duty model kind of look using all my favorite products. So hopefully I've used or tried something here today that you haven't tried yet, where maybe you would like to try. I feel like if anything, I would try the brow trick with the Schwarzkopf glue. If you've tried a brow product that just doesn't stay in place, highly suggest you try this one. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you for sticking around and hanging out with me today. Please leave a comment down below of something that you've incorporated into your makeup routine that you're absolutely loving. And as always, if you haven't hit that red subscribe button, please do so. You're already here. It's an amazing way to show your love and support, and it shows me what type of videos you guys want to see from me. All right, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.